This is the truly desirable life. Women, in order to escape the hustle and bustle of the city, spend all their savings to buy a piece of prime land by the river, and spend 2.5 years to transform the originally idle land into a farmhouse that thousands admire. Not only does it allow for the free raising of poultry and livestock, but also ensures a safe distance from technology and modern life. This time, it's really profitable again to build a comfortable farmhouse. He spent days collecting pebbles. So, on a sunny morning, he began to clear a space that would be easy to build on. The area is very spacious, and the fruit trees behind will also bring in good income. Living here is simply wonderful. After successfully clearing the land, he marked the layout and quickly dug a shallow trench. This not only makes material storage easy, but also feels solid when building the walls. As the pebbles were stacked together, it resembled the mutual reliance between people. He carefully adjusted the position of each stone. As time passed, the outline of the building gradually became clear. The walls grew taller and taller. Though not made of bricks, the strength of the pebbles is still commendable. After all, he managed to get the materials for free. With the completion of the wall construction, the collection of materials for the roof officially began. Due to its small size, the target for collection isn't too large. However, the trees need to be straight, and the wood strong is very important. The sound of the blade striking the trunk is crisp. With each chop, the wood chips fly. One by one, the small trees are successfully cut down and carried down the mountain. They will serve as supports for the roof. This collection is already sufficient. After collecting the logs, he walked into a lifeless bamboo forest. Bamboo is one of the best building materials. Using bamboo to make the main board can create a more stable roof structure, but it's not too difficult. However, cutting bamboo requires a bit of skill. Why does he always wear rain boots to work on hot days? Because he has to cross to the other side. And without a bridge, he can only take the water route. He removes the tiles to use them for building his house. As time passes, the tiles are taken down and loaded. Because the transportation here is quite inconvenient, they have the opportunity to carry the tiles away. In this way, the materials for the roof are collected. On a new day, he plans to start laying the tiles, but the weight of the tiles makes each step extraordinarily difficult. I think I should change this ladder. The process of laying tiles requires great patience and skill, but his fingers are agile and skilled. He lays them out in groups of 12 tiles. It's enough for one person to live in. After all, he still needs to build a kitchen. He still needed to build a kitchen, a water reservoir, and a fish pond. Plus, since all the land here is his own, he plans to selectively grow some vegetables and fruits just later. The first step after to getting perfectly settled. Cutting the pieces. On a new day, he prepared to construct the last tile of the stone house. The pebbles were temporarily stacked to one side of the small house. To build the floor to the right height, he dug up the soil and then pushed it back to fill in. Next, he broke up the large clumps of mud. This way, of course, as long as he wielded the hoe well. Not afraid of not being able to dig in the corners. Next, to tamp it down tightly, a low wall from the shallow pit. The sky gradually darkened. Today's work could only continue tomorrow. On a sunny morning, he mixed the mortar, preparing to harden the floor. He gently placed it on the prepared mortar, ensuring it was stable. He also needed to gently press in the air pockets, allowing the pebbles to bond well with the mortar. The actions were meticulous and focused. Every stone is carefully stacked, slowly as forming a semi and gradually reaches an appropriate level. There's another method for building the remaining wall. To facilitate the coverage on top, he decided to build for stone pillars upwards. For overall stability, the pillars naturally need to maintain certain dimensions. Finally, he began collecting some bamboo for building, for future construction and fixing. After completing this, and some not-so-great-looking wooden trees passing by the land, the corn seedlings were growing robustly. After returning, he processed the wood with grooves, and drilled holes at designated points. This way, rebar for fixing could be smoothly achieved. The operation of using pre-embedded to secure the short pillars on the other side. He similarly installed the beams and short pillars. With multiple successes, the top structure of the kitchen was revealed. Above, the main boards completed the layout of the covering materials, after covering it with tiles. As for the soil used to backfill the floor, not only would it facilitate cooking, the kitchen was only missing the internal arrangement. He began installing the smoke exhaust pipe, but it would also make it very convenient and leveling the mortar. Food for this little kitchen would be ready for use soon. The firewood stove felt very secure. The cement pipe he picked up from the roadside after finishing these. He had already chosen the trees for processing the wooden door in advance. With the post office starting left was a wooden door. Once it was sawn down, and he could move. The challenge was not over. He needed to split the tree trunk was gradually several sections into an easier carrying. When he stopped the saw, feeling the weight of the wood, but he could each section was just roughly measured and carry it away. After preparing he tried to lift it. After adding water, he stirred it was heavy. Next, he carefully aligned the saw cut, and the wood gradually was sawed. The contrast between the smooth and rough surfaces was obvious, allowing him to completely relax, which would make the water feel really exciting. He collected a few discarded batteries he used to get nails to splice it. The line work for the wooden door. He subsequently fixed it to the door frame quickly and neatly. With joy end of the law, he maintained a steady force after cutting a bunch. It was simply a childhood nightmare. But he really wanted this style. Then, he drove in nails on one side to firmly provide an unparalleled sense of comfort with the sound of snapping. The field instantly became tidy and clean. However, he was not there to help. He immediately bought some new wood. A comfortable single bed was truly important. Having it. This wooden bed was like a warm harbor,